Hello on a rainy afternoon. Just wanted to update some of my plants I brought indoors to winterize. A lot of these plants are in my living room. I do have some down in the basement in the grow light, under some grow lights. And I have some in my bathroom and there's some in my dining room. But for now, I'm just going to be showing the ones I brought into my living room. So let's start over here. This is my crown of thorns. One I just purchased around Labor Day weekend. This one's the one that bloomed like all these huge, massive pink flowers. But I think it's due to the cold and the weather changing, and because maybe I brought it indoors, the flower has changed color. It's blooming like a cream color, which is really odd. I don't know why it does that. I'm sure it's a temperature change and changing the location of the plant. It might have changed. There's some buds forming there. Right here. But yeah, all the buds drop since we started having the cooler temperatures and the colder nights. So I brought it inside like 2 weeks ago, and it's been rainy like non-stop for the last 2 weeks, just on and off. I think we only have like 1 or 2 days that's been sunny for the last 2 weeks. So yeah, it's not doing the plants any good. Another crown of thorns. This is the variegated kind. It's a really small one. It's the Euphorbia millii splendens. If I don't know if I'm saying that right, but this one has like really tiny pink, not pink, but red flowers. The leaves are variegated. Over here, I have an epiphyllum hybrid. Got this one from my local plant nursery here in town. It was a really huge one, but I divided it and I gave most of it to my sister, and I kept about a small portion of the plant. So it's not doing too good. I had all my plants, most of my plants here in the spring all the way to like late summer. I had all in this like covered patio. They're not getting like direct sunlight, but it's bright, but it's just not direct sunlight. So I wonder if that's what's causing them to not grow so well. So maybe next year, next summer, I'll put them up in full sun. I know they tend to burn sometimes if I do that, and I burn a lot of it in the past, so I'm afraid to put it out in full sun. But in my east facing side of the house, and just to get the morning sun would probably be good. I have here some cuttings from, this is the true queen of the night. It's the one with the white flowers that blooms at night only. There's some cuttings from my sister-in-law from California. She sent us my sister some cuttings, and she gave me some, and she planted some in this pot and gave it to me. They all rooted so far. So yeah, this one's they have like the older leaf, and hopefully hopefully it'll bloom for me soon. I don't have very good luck with epiphyllums or crown of thorns, although these are my two favorite plants to grow. As you can see throughout my videos, I grow a lot of them, but they say you kind of have to have good luck to grow them and to get them to flower. I just have some orchids here, which I won't get into because I'm not doing an orchid video here. I have a dragon fruit there. Couple of new growth here over the summer. Another crown of thorns here. This one I got it from a eBay seller, and it's from Houston, Texas. It's called the red Jillian. The flowers are red with some green edging. And this is another dragon fruit. Yes, this one was a cutting that my sister brought back from Florida when she went down there this past spring or winter. My cousin down there gave her a bunch of cuttings, and she kind of split it off for me and my other sister, and we all have like a whole bunch of them. and mine didn't grow too much. It only grew one segment this summer for me. Like I said, I didn't put in full sun, so probably why it wasn't growing that much for me. But I guess my sister's has grown quite a bit. She's got like a bunch of new growth on hers. I have a butterwort here, one of those carnivorous plants that likes to eat the fungus gnats here. I have a euphorbia here. Another euphorbia. Okay, this is a euphorbia polygonia snowflakes. And this one here, this is a euphorbia, a crown of thorns, but it's like the regular crown of thorns. It's not like the hybrid. It's not like the Thai hybrids where the flowers are really big. These have the smaller blooms, but these are very prolific. They are always blooming all the time. The ones I find really hard to grow are the Thai hybrids or the larger hybrids. Those don't flower at all. And I have an agave right here. It's a pretty small one. All these three, the agave, the white crown of thorns here, and the other, the euphorbia polygonia. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right here. Here's the tag. Euphorbia polygona snowflakes. Yeah, euphorbia polygona snowflakes. All these I got from this online nursery. It's called Planet Desert from California. And up here I just have a bunch of cuttings I got from an online seller too, from Epi Haven. So I don't know if anybody's bought it from her before, but she sells mostly epiphyllum cuttings, fully rooted ones, and some of them are not unrooted cuttings too. So that one, this one's King Midas. This one is a very slow growing one. I only have one growth since I bought it like a year ago. This one's very slow. For first year, I didn't do anything at all. This is this new growth I got this year. This one is called Sibling Rivalries. This one's supposed to be fragrant. This one is Pegasus. And yes, and this one grows quite a bit. This one, it says it's fragrant, but I'm not sure. This one is another Queen of the Night, the white blooms that bloom at night. This one I got it from nursery Logis. Yeah, Logis online. I got it online, and it was just like one cutting, and it had like two bunny ears like this sticking out. That cutting was like this. It had one on this side, one on this side. But since then I've cut the sides, the side growths here and stuck in here, and that's one of them. This is the other. Since I had it for like a year now, so why did I buy this? Let's see. I tried to write the date I bought this one, but this date is pretty accurate. 2016. 11/8/2016. So it's been 2 years, almost 2 years since I purchased this. And it hasn't do much. It's a very slow grower. The first thing I did, my first growth was it had this shoot coming up, and it kept going this shoot, and it turned to this really hard stem, and then it shoots up way up here, and then it started to grow some leaf up here, and it just keeps going like this. And yeah, I had some new growth this summer. Like I had a segment like this, but I put it in full sun. It wasn't like really hot sun, but just morning sun. Just it was on my east facing side of the house, and it only had the morning sun but they were brand new growth like this. So I put it there for a couple of days, and it was like the really hot days of the summer, and they got burned. All of them got burnt. So I was really mad that happened to me, or that I let it happen. I should have known better. So I cut all those ones that were burnt, and I stuck it back in the soil. I mean, why not? Why not try it to, root it and see if it'll come up? I mean, see if it'll root and, make new shoots and stuff. So yeah, this one, as you can see, has a new growth in there. So I know it's rooted, it's got roots now, because that's a sign. A new growth there is a sign that it's been rooted. And then this one is also rooted because I'm trying to pull it up on it. It's not coming up. And here's the other one, the other piece I stuck in here. So yeah, they were all burnt here. This one's burned severely, but this one's it's a hard leaf. So yeah, I stuck in there, and they all seem to root pretty well. So hopefully I'll get some new shoots coming from them. That's fine. Trying to fill the pot up a little bit. So and since then, since I cut it, I had this new growth came up from this part that I cut off here. I got this big fat new growth here. It's a little bit backlit here. There we go. And moving on, I have another crown of thorns. I got this from Can's Nursery in Florida. It's a yellow one, and this one's always in bloom. So this is the only one that I can say for sure that it blooms for me all the time. And this one, since I got it, it's been blooming like all the time too. So the little ones, the little crown of thorns, the little flower ones seem to bloom very well for me. I don't have to do anything special to it. They just keep on blooming. Here is another epiphyllum. This is called the epihookery or hookerai. My sister had this plant for 7 years, and this year it finally bloomed for her. She had a bunch of them, flowers this year, and 20 or 30 some blooms on this plant. So after it was like done blooming, she cut some cuttings for me and gave it to me, and I started the cutting, and yeah, they're all rooted right now. Another epiphyllum, this one I got it from eBay. It was just like 4 cuttings that I bought it for like $10 plus shipping, so I don't know, I probably spent like 18 bucks or whatever. Stuck in soil. This is all that it's grown for me since the summer. I think I got this in the spring, and I got all these new growth. They're here, 4 new growth. Another Queen of the Night, just another version I got from, it's the same one as this one. Actually, this is the Queen of the Night, the oxypetalum, but this one is called the Mark Twin version. It's a Mark Twin. So apparently it's the petals are a little different. This one's like double petal or double flower, whatever they call it, double flower. The petals are different. And this one is just a regular, epiphyllum oxypetalum, just a regular night flower, a white flower that blooms during the night. Here I just have a lamb's ear. I love the leaf on this. Fuzzy white hair. This is called a Syningia leucotrona. Yeah, Syningia. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. I have this fishbone cactus or red cactus. I got it. I don't know if I got this from I got this from an eBay seller. They sent me a couple of cuttings, and I stuck in soil. I think I had this for I want to say a year. It hasn't really done much at all. I mean, I got these growth, but they're very spindly, really small growth. And I had it in the summer. I have it in my last house. I had it hanging in my east window. It's got morning sun like all the time. It's hanging above my kitchen. And yeah, they get sun all the time, but they don't grow very big. See, this is the original cuttings, and the new growth are like very small compared to the original cutting. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong there. Maybe I'll try to repot it again this summer and see if it will, grow better or not. But yeah, I have this for I don't know when I had it. I think I have a date on here. Let's see. I usually try to write a date on here. Oh, 5/8/2017. So yeah, it's been a year. It passed a year, a little over a year, and it really hasn't done much. I want to say it's a slow grow, or maybe I'm just not doing something right. Over here, this is like the west side of my house. It's got some morning, some sun from and this side is my south-facing window. This is my south-facing window. So when the sun comes through in the like during the day, it gets this side gets some of the light from my south facing window. So I have a jade plant right here, and this one was just like a small plant like this, like maybe just one segment like that, like this, and it's grown quite a bit since I bought it. I got it from a local nursery here, just in a really small pot, like one of those really small succulent pot, and since then I potted up to a bigger pot, and yeah, it's growing very well for me, doing very healthy. My desert rose is losing, it's going dormant, it's losing all of its leaves. It was in full bloom, and it had like all these leaves on there, but as you can see, they have all fallen off since I brought it inside. They just lost their leaves like crazy. And they're supposed to do that, I think, because they're supposed to go dormant. I have a little one that I gave away, and yeah, it does that. The leaves fall off in the winter, and in the spring, new growths come on, and they keep growing. I just have a purple heart. Just a small cutting. Got it from a local nursery here too. It's blooming, but yeah, it looks like they just took like a cutting, stuck it in the soil, and then it just grew this. And here is another queen of the night. I got this from my local Home Depot. I actually went there one day, and it must be luck or whatever, because I never see this for sale anywhere at our local nurseries or like our local big box stores. But this one particular day I went, and they had 2 baskets hanging where all the house plants was, and it was like $14.99. And look at all this growth on them. Well, these up here are new ones, but they were like all these growth and all these, yeah. So I'm like, oh yeah, for $15, I'm gonna take that. I bought both of them, bought one for my sister. I gave one for my sister, and I kept one. So yep, I'm a little bit crazy about like the epiphyllums, and that's pan over here, and my messy living room here. Ignored that. Over here, this is the wall opposite my west windows. Where my TV is. Next to my TV, I have a Hoya plant, Hoya carnosa, and it was in bloom, but it seems to have spent its bloom. So this Hoya has been in bloom twice for me since I bought it like 2 years ago. I got it from Lowe's, I think for $14.99, around $15 like that. It was a really big plant. I only have one Hoya plant like that. I do have the variegated Hoya Kyrie, but that one's not doing too good. I have some banana plants here. These are not mine, these are my husband's. He likes banana trees, so he grows bananas and he takes care of them. I don't take care of it. That's his thing, so I let him take care of it. And here's another orchid, which I probably won't go into because I'm not doing an orchid video. But yeah, another banana plant here. These are just offsets, like babies that came from like a big banana tree, which my husband, it got so big, and then the leaves weren't coming up on the top correctly anymore. It was really weird. It started to look really weird, and the leaves were getting stuck at the top, so he chopped the banana off, took the babies and potted them up into like these separate ones. So, and this one I got it online. I got it at Lowe's. This is a dwarf banana tree. So this one doesn't get very big. It's always been this size, and you see the leaves are like stacking on top of each other, like really closely like that. Whereas these ones, they grew so big and so fast. They're not the dwarf banana. So their leaves are like, they're like farther apart from each other. But they get to a point where they get so big, and then the leaves just get stuck. Like they don't go anywhere. Like they can't come up. So then he had to chop it off because it was looking really weird. Whereas this one, the leaves are like stacking really close to each other, and there's like plenty of room up here for the next leaf to come up. I don't know, bananas are weird. So I don't really grow them because they take up too much space and they get really big really fast. So my husband's, that's his stuff. Here's another crown of thorns here. This is like a bunch of cuttings that I just stuck in a pot. My sister went to, the same sister that brought me the dragon fruit cuttings. She brought these also from Florida from the same cousin. She had a whole bunch of them in her yard, and she just cut a whole bunch of cuttings for my sister in all different colors, and then she kind of split it up for all of us, and between her, me, and my older sister. And so we planted a whole bunch of these. When did I plant this? 2/26/18, so since February, and they haven't really done much for me. Like they of course they didn't have any leaves when she brought it back, because you know they lose their leaf, you cut it, replant it, took a while for them to root and stuff. But I haven't had any blooms on them this year. They've grown quite a bit of leaf, but that's all I had, you know, just there's no bloom on there. And this one, this is another catch-all pot that I have here. There's like a whole bunch of crown of thorns, all different varieties that I just kind of stuck in one pot. Originally, I had bought them all, you know, like separately, and they all came in different shipments at different times, but I grew them all separately, but none of them has ever bloomed for me except this one. This one I get like a couple blooms a year throughout the winter. They usually they seem to bloom in the winter for me more so than in the summer. I don't know, maybe because I'm thinking the cooler weather kind of triggers the bloom. But this one is starting to bud. You can see there's like 4 buds on there. Yeah. And this one is not one that I purchased online. The rest of all of these I purchased some logis, and they were like all grafted plants. I don't know if you can see, but here is where they grafted, because they're very slow growing. I think they say they graft them, so I don't know how the process works, but I don't know if it's because they graft them but they're not blooming, or what, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But this one is a cutting that I went to North Carolina like 3 years ago, or is it 2 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago, and my sister-in-law, one of my cousins down there, she had a huge one, like the size of this one, and it was blooming like crazy. And that's the first time I saw, and I fell in love with it. So I just had to have a cutting. So I asked her for a cutting, and then she gave me a cutting, and I have brought it home since then. When I brought it home, it was like only, you can see where it kind of tilted here. When I brought it home, it was only about this high, like where it's tilting here. Since then, this all is, from here to up here is like all new growth from the last 2 or 3 years that I had them. And it's bloomed every year for me. Not very prolific, but you know, I'll have like 1 or 2 blooms here and there throughout the winter. And this one, she said she got the cutting from California. But anyways, I stuck her in this pot with the rest of all these. But I think next year I'm gonna cut her up right here and make it into like 2 plant, and hopefully the bottom one will hopefully like make new growth, offsets or growth. If I cut it, it might branch off and make new growth. So I'm gonna stick this one in a different pot. I'm not gonna keep it with the rest of these that don't bloom for me. I might just give away these other ones and give it to some people and see if they can get it to bloom. But anyways, I have a huge one here. This one, I want to say is about 4 feet tall. Yeah, 4 feet tall. 4 feet tall or 3.5 to 4.5. I'm not sure. I don't really measure it, but it's about 4 feet tall, I want to say. This one, I got it from an orchid nursery, Nate's Orchids in Chicago or in Illinois. They're actually Nate's Orchids. It's in Naperville, Illinois. I went to the orchid show last year, and the owner had this huge crown of thorns. I'm like, oh my god, I never seen one that big. So I asked him if he's willing to sell it, and he's like, yeah, I'll sell it to you. And I don't know what I was thinking. The plant wasn't even in bloom at all, but I'm thinking maybe I could get it to bloom, you know. So yeah, I went a little crazy. He sold it to me for $60. Yes, $60. And I took it home with me, and it came in a really small clay pot. I want to say the clay pot was like a 6-inch pot, and this plant was humongous. So it's been in this pot, and then the roots were all sticking out of the bottom of the pot. So it was really root bound. So I repotted it into like this, I think that's a 10-inch container. I repotted it to this 10-inch container with cactus soil. And yeah, it's been it's growing for me. I'm getting leaves on it, but I still haven't been able to get any blooms on there. So yeah, this is one of those Thai hybrids. They're not very, I don't know. I feel like other people can get it to bloom, but I can't get it to bloom. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. If anybody has any tips on, I do put it in full sun. But it only gets the morning sun because I didn't want it to get sunburned. So I'm thinking, and like towards the end of like summer, like September last month, I moved it to the south side of my house, and where it gets like all day sun. And since then it has like initiated like a whole bunch of, like this one initiated the bud. And then I saw a whole bunch of like, I thought what it was like bud forming, but then not all like falling off. Like this one. Okay, I dropped it. But let's see if I can find something to show you. It's very dark. I found some stuff in here which I thought was like bud forming. But they since all, and I was so excited. I'm like, oh my god, it's budding. But I don't think so. But or maybe because of the cold weather, and I brought it inside the house. These are very finicky with temperature change or location change. So all these little buds that I thought were like flower, like the bracts forming, they all ended up drying up and falling off. So yeah, they didn't make it, and I was kind of upset because I really thought, yeah, this is the year that I can get it to bloom. But next year for sure, I'll put it all in full sun on my the south side of my house, so it gets all day sun, and like hopefully that will help it to bloom. Cause these are supposed to be grown in full sun, like direct sunlight. Because they're like desert plants or succulents. They like a lot of sun. But yep, that's the end of my tour. Yeah, I stack all these on my fireplace. I'm not using the fireplace. I'm not utilizing that. I just have the heat on, but probably won't use the fireplace. It's really like it's just a gas fireplace, but I'm not gonna use it. And here is just like a view around the room here. I bought that white table from Amazon. It was like a really narrow, like it's only 18 inches wide, 72 inches on length. It's the perfect height for my plants, and it's like the perfect width. It doesn't take a lot of space. It's only like 18 inches across, so 18 inches wide and 72 inches long. So perfect for that spot. And here is the other plants here. Here is my west facing window, and the sun is setting in the sky right now. So, see you next time. Thank you if you're watching.